All right, so I took a little loss here. It is what it is, I guess. So let me show you what it is. All right, and I'll show you what I've kind of also not enjoyed today. So you can see here on USD Chef Wednesday, the 20th of August, 2025, we had a thick CRT candle on 8 a.m. We already had a key level being taken during accumulation. So yeah, basically that was that. Okay, now what price does? Price comes down, manipulates, and here it did not give a clean TBS. Okay, it did not give a clean turtle body soup. It did not cleanly close below this wick, this low. So I just said like, yeah, that's definitely not valid, right? That's invalid for me. However, on TradingView, this motherfucker said that it was valid, that it did give a clean break. However, I did not trust that. I just decided, nah, bro, like let me just enter and let me not take that trade because for to me, like I really don't think that one was like a valid TBS. So I just kind of let it be. Price came all the way up to almost to 50%. And like it was at this point where I was like, okay, if it hits the 50%, I'm going to like say that the CRT is complete and it's not going to and it could possibly reverse, right? But the thing is, it never actually hit the 50%. It just kind of like ticked it somewhere around here and then just came back down. So I was like, okay, this could still give me a good reversal. So what I did was I waited, and we did get a TBS right here. One, two, three, four, five, six, a valid TBS. One candle. Here's the model one, the thick candle after it. Price closed above it. I entered in my trade. Stop loss at the extreme low, targeting a 1 to 2. My bad, 1 to 2. Coincidentally, it was at the 50%, and price pretty much. And then after that, price actually closed out, as in like it closed, it physically closed outside of the CRT. So it was like at that point where like, yeah, it's definitely very low probability to reverse now. However, I still decided to like, enter in because, it could have been a chance where like it did this last minute manipulation and then closed right into the zone, right into the range, So I risked it, and price closed out, and it was still a valid trade, right? Even if it closes out, it's still it could still reverse up. So I held it, and price ran through my TP. That was the trade recap for what I took today. Here is the demo trade that I took. That was a full on, huh? I barely fucking lost 50. What? Dude, yeah, no, there's something wrong. Okay, so I need to figure out my risk again. I don't think I can like properly risk with like this shit. Okay, I really don't think so. Right, commissions is definitely like $5 per lot. So like maybe what I do is just I grab this and then this. Okay, put it on one. Okay, now I'm going to put 8.5. No, okay. So like from here, all I do is I try to get as close as I can to 50. So 0.9. Okay, so 0.8, 0. Okay, so 7 seems alright. Okay, 7, and then we just add $5. Okay, so try to make it as close as you can to $5. So like here would have been a perfect risk, right? I would have risked perfectly. That is what I don't like about this. Okay, it's like dynamic risking for me. I want to have like just all right with this shit, right? So the thing is, it's if you look here, it's like a one. What the fuck is that conversion rate? You get me, right? I don't understand how like this conversion rate and how I'm supposed to risk against it. Cause like on Euro USD and everything else, the pip values are like okay, right? But on USD CAD and USD Chef, shit is honestly very weird. So I would not have known to risk 0.71 here. I definitely would not have, right? I would have just guessed it if I even had the time to guess it, right? This is also a market entry, by the way. This is like a market order. Wasn't a limit order because the moment price closed above, I was like trying to set the limit order. I was trying. Price already went down below, so like I was like, oh shit. So I just like manually bought USD shift. That is a problem I'm facing currently. So I do need to figure out a way to to counteract that. Maybe I could just like how do I say this? I figure out my risk and I wait for it to close above, and then I'm just going to market order since there's like barely any like spread here. But like thing is, I don't think that's gonna work. I'm gonna try to make it, um, you know, I'm gonna try to make it stop loss. Limit order because I do not want to do market orders. I like that is there's just so much variables in it, and it's very hard to backtest. So I'm not gonna do that. With that, like, you know, I think. So I've got to figure out a way to pretty much risk correctly on USD CAD and USD Chef because the conversion rates for it is like kind of stupid, bro. Honestly, it is very stupid. Okay, I do not like the conversion rates. I will tell you. Even if we get like a 71, okay, a 1 to 2 would have given us a uh like 85% gain. 85 RR gain. That's okay, but like, I want to make sure it's like a full $100 that I'm actually getting, right? So like I'm considering changing it to like a 1 to 3 RR, but like that is way too fucking far. You can agree, right? My normal TP is just a 1 to 2. If I'm gonna change to a 1 to 3, that's gonna cook me so hard, right? Now I have tested this a little bit, and I've seen that just putting it at like 1 to 2.8 RR or 1 to 2.8 hours like quite kind of like the minimum for me. But if I just put it at like 1 to 8 hour 2.8 hour, like it usually, and I mean like usually gets the full $100 that I want. So yeah, still kind of figure that out. I guess I'll have to learn about that soon. But yeah, for now, today was just a one trade day. I almost missed out on like a few other trades, by the way, because I was like more focused on this one. I really didn't think anything else was gonna like even hit the ranges. Euro didn't. GU actually did. The only reason I didn't get a trade was the fact that this didn't give a TBS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. This is no longer a valid TBS. So I just didn't get entered in on that. So saved ourselves a loss, I guess. On AUD USD, we came all the way down, but we didn't have a singular TBS before the new candle opened. NZD, kind of the same thing here. Price came all the way down to the range low at the CRT low, but this was not a clean TBS for me, so I just did not enter in. And even if it was, would have invalidated us about here because it should never touch the swing low again. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much it. This I wouldn't say this was a strategy loss because really I do not like these ones where it is like very guessworky, right? It's kind of like a 50-50 at that point, right? Maybe you could have like risked it and then like entered in, because no, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna base most of my decisions on TradingView. Okay, MetaTrader is like very it's how do you say this? It's like there's a lot of variables in MetaTrader, right? the brokers are usually not the fairest. They'll sometimes, put more volume in one candle, or like, stop you out with spreads or some bullshit. So I don't really look at you know my MetaTrader broker to base decisions. I usually just use TradingView, right? And like FXCM, like I trust FXCM. I've been using it like my entire trading journey, so I might as well just keep using it and trusting it, right? So I just decided not to enter there. I guess if we did, which I would not have, if we did, would have lost either way, I guess. You know, maybe I could make up a rule where like the 50% blah 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 or some bullshit, but like it was just a tick away from the 50%, a tick away from saving me from this trade. Oh well, I still like risked it because it technically didn't hit the 50%. So yeah, um, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and journal this one. So yeah, key levels galore. Boom, right, Wednesday the 20th. One loss, that's fine. Don't really mind that. Yeah, I'm still gonna have to like figure out a way to actually risk correctly, because if I don't, then I'm gonna get cooked when I eventually get funded. When I eventually, get myself a challenge account and stuff like that, I'm gonna get cooked if I don't learn how to actually risk correctly. So yeah, for today though, um, Wednesday the 20th August 2025 was just this. That was an L. Oh well, right? Took 3 wins yesterday, so I'm not really blah 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 about that. Gonna make a new one here. Yeah, like problem. How the Okay, bro. I was damn, bro. My ass was glitching with that one. So this one, nothing. 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 Like honestly, risk like TP, I guess. I'm not getting like a full 100%, like 1 to 2 RR. So I need to figure a way to do that, honestly. Right, just my experience actually live trading these ones. We got a USD chef here. Old low during a accumulation candle. We longed that boy. At what point did we long it? My bad. Need to go check again. You see, boys, you gotta journal. You gotta collect your data. Okay, if you don't collect data, how the hell are you gonna know when you're like, if this shit even works? You gotta know. So we got it at 9:56. Okay, 9:56 a.m. So it was an L, -1 RR. Like at 50%, I guess. Got put in red. The fuck? I said red. Risk, TP, and lot size. So my strategy is all right. I trust my strategy. With every single trade, I guess I'm gonna keep trusting my strategy. The only thing I really need to fix currently is like risk, honestly. Okay. Honestly, no. Lot size wasn't much of a deal there, like at that point, right? So I just need to like keep trading, honestly. Because here you can see, right? This week I'm supposed to be up like plus 4 RR. That's like what, $200, right? I'm supposed to be up $200 this week. Okay. You get me, guys? You get me, right? Plus $200. Um, okay, but I'm actually only up 3%. So you can see here, I did not get a full 100, like $100, right? Here you can see, right? Commissions ate a lot of this, right? So I actually only got, right? You can see here, I risked a good 50. So I'm not gonna even look at this, right? Euro was an okay trade. This was okay, right? GU on the other hand, we got a $70 gain. AU $70 gain. That's 140. And USD CAD, you can see here, we got like a 50% gain. 140 plus that's 190. Okay, 190 minus 50, like 140. Okay, minus whatever this is. 140. What the fuck? 140 divided by like 130. Yeah, no, my math is stupid. Okay, I cannot do math. So yeah, I'm gonna need to figure that out. Honestly, I'm gonna need to figure this out. So currently, I think I've got my risk down. Right, I've written down the paper like I said I would do yesterday. Made that risk paper. I'm gonna have to redo it for USD CAD and USD Chef though, cause the commissions and everything on that bitch is so annoying. I swear. Right, but for now, I guess that is what it is. Um, Maybe I don't actually trade USD CAD and USD Chef. Honestly, that might be a good move. Honestly, like might be a good move because I don't really know how to risk correctly on them. Who knows? That's actually an idea. That is an idea. I'll take an idea where I can, I guess. Okay, but whatever. That's just an idea, okay? If I just didn't take these two trades, which honestly, I think I probably still will in the future, but maybe who knows, right? Um, you know, you have these three trades this entire week, okay? For now, till Wednesday, right? I've had these three trades. I would be up $100 here, $100 here. We're up $200, okay? Minus this, we're up $150. That's 3%, okay? I would be up 3%. So, like, yeah, man. Um, who knows? Maybe I'll consider that. I actually don't know. I might consider taking out USD Chef and USD CAD. Honestly, because like if you see here, these trades, GUAU. This was last week. This was this was not trades I actually took. just a bunch of messing around there. Basically, we would be up 2%, like $100 this week. That is not bad. That is absolutely good. That is very good. Okay, 2% in a week. Like if that's just consistent like that, 2% in a week consistently, W's, bro. W's across the board. Okay, profitability up across the board. Okay, so who knows? I'm gonna continue live doing this with the pairs with USD CAD and USD Chef for possibly like the entire end of the month. Okay, I'm gonna try to learn how to risk correctly on USD CAD and USD Chef. But if I fail to do that, I might as well just take them out because honestly, I do not want to stress myself out by doing something I don't even 100% know about. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have for this video. I think I've learned a few things. Mainly my problems are just risk, so I'll probably figure it out soon enough. Right, I'm gonna do my best to figure it out right now and here honestly. So yeah, but without further ado, you know, the fuck am I saying? Anyways, see y'all next time. Good night, bye, peace.